What's going on, everybody? It is Thursday night. It is Wrestling Outlet. I am Boxman. Smark will be coming along in just a couple minutes here. But we got plenty to talk about tonight anyway, so don't you guys worry about it. Wanted to, I guess before Smart comes on, did want to, I'm going to get what me and Smark are going to get into Dynamite, Dynasty, all kinds of other things going on that we're going to get into. Obviously, we got things leading up to WrestleMania, and we'll talk about all that. But the first thing I did want to mention, and there's a new feature here on StreamYard where you can add pictures. And the first thing I did want to mention before I went anywhere else in the show was this right here, folks. Kevin Scondato, most of us knew him as Kevin Castle, did pass away. Monday, we all found out. I mean, if anyone knows the Don Tony and Kevin Castle show, they did a show, or they do shows on Monday night. And Kevin, if you've listened to, I did listen to their Monday show, and if you listen, Kevin has had some health issues and was going through some stuff, but said he was taking his pills. He kept saying he was taking it seriously, but if you listened to Monday's show that happened this Monday night, there was some talk by his brother John Draper and Anthony Missionary Thomas of Wrestling Soup. He was also on there, and they were saying he really didn't take it seriously. He was not really doing stuff like that. So, unfortunately, I guess they said that he had called one of his brothers, said he couldn't feel his hands and was going to the hospital. Never got to make a phone call to an ambulance or anything. Ended up, they found him and he was unresponsive. So, but I did listen to the Monday show, and I know they took a couple of years off, him and Don Tony, and when Kevin came back, it was a breath of fresh air. I hate to tell you, because I hate to be a downer in this one, but Don Tony needs someone to not filter him, but to kind of slow him down a little bit sometimes, and Kevin definitely did that. And Kevin was always a funny guy, a truly funny guy, especially when he was telling stories on the show. He was very, very funny. So, they've been doing shows for a long time, those guys, and it's been hard on Don Tony, and I'm sure he was doing some shows with Mish, and obviously he had a pretty large family, and his family is obviously hurting from this. So, I did want to quickly mention that. Like I said, I'm a listener. I have no attachment to them, but a lot of people are talking about this, and that's not the reason I'm mentioning it. Like I said, I do listen on Mondays, and I even listen to a few of Don Tony's wrestling news, the pro wrestling news that he does. He did it daily for a while there. Now he's doing it every now and then, mostly Wednesdays and Saturdays. And he actually did one this Wednesday, and hard to listen to. But yeah. And Mish and everybody were good friends with them. And if you guys remember, but back when this show was the Hot Tag with Shaheen, who did reach out to me, and I really appreciated it that he did reach out to me. And I don't know, me and Shaheen hopefully we'll catch up. And another person that didn't really reach out, but kind of did. Anthony has a YouTube channel, Anthony Alston, that was co-host here with Smark and me, and also my OG co-host over there on Hollywood Hangout. Got a YouTube channel over there, so if you guys got a minute, go check that out. Go check him out over there, under his name, Anthony Alston. And he's got some good stuff over there going on right now. He's just starting to put up videos, but go show him some love. Go show him some support. and subscribe to that channel. So anyhow, folks, I did want to quickly start with that. I think Smark might have actually just totally been waiting for me to start with that, and then he decided to fucking show up. So what is going on, my man?
What's up?
Oh, it's Thursday. It's fucking wrestling outlet. It's boxing Smark. It's fucking everything's right in the world right now.
That's it.
How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you?
Not bad. Not bad. Doing pretty good. It's been a little crazy with the puppies, but they are super sweet and pretty smart, and they listen. I'll be damned. They listen better than my fucking dogs listen.
That could be the case sometimes.
I don't get it. I say no, and they stop what they're doing and they walk away. And I'm like, you listen better than my other dogs. You listen better than my fucking kids.
Mm-hmm.
They're very good dogs. I'm very happy with the two little puppies we got. I'll bring them. I'll bring them in here next week. If my wife comes in, I'll ask her to bring them in. We can. I'll introduce you to Daisy and Lavender.
Nice.
But yeah, I was just mentioning Kevin Castle's passing real quick. Don Tony and Kevin Castle. So I don't know if you. I don't think you were a listener of that show. So
I mean, I knew of the show. I didn't super know them.
Oh yeah,
talk to them. But yeah, I mean, it's always stuff like that's always unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean they've been around for a very. Tony will tell you since 1997 they've been doing that show, but since 2004, him and Kevin have been doing shows. So they've been around a long time, man. They really are one of the OGs. So, I mean that they were around like during it was them and In Your Head, IYH, Jackie Jones over there. So, but yeah.
There's a couple of old school shows that were just around for fucking perpetually ever. There was like you said that one. There was In Your Head. There was fucking No DQ had a show for a minute there. There was a couple of other ones, but yeah, just some people have been doing it for a very long time.
Yeah, back when it was internet radio, not even podcasting anymore, and not as easy to do as it is now. Because it's much easier at this point. But yeah, I figured what we would do, Smark, as I told you on the messenger there, I figured we would go into Dynamite and do our usual mixture of Dynasty Dynamite. And yes, Norab, Kevin will be missed. We love Kevin. He will be missed, absolutely. Man, I even forgot to run the banner. I'll put that up there while we're ramping up and getting into whatchamacallit. Dynamite, Dynasty, a lot of Dynamite, Dynasty. My God. But I figure we'll mix those two together as we always do.
Really rough transition there, sir.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying, man. Look, this not drinking thing is got my brain all fucked up, okay? Bear with me for a couple more shows, people. But yeah, we will definitely jump into Dynamite and Dynasty in just a second here. But yeah, I figured I'd do that. But anyway, what do you got? What you're about to say something? Your lips are moving. Your lips are moving.
I got nothing.
All right, then we'll just jump into Dynamite and Dynasty and start talking about some wrestling. But all right, let's go ahead and roll into it. Dynamite happened. Dynasty happened. So I guess we can go ahead and talk about it. I guess let's go ahead and start with the controversy, Smark. The fact that Jon Moxley is still fucking champion. Moxley retained. Of course, there was a ton of shit. There was fuckery throughout the match. Even the Young Bucks came back. God damn it. You jinxed us because you mentioned the Young Bucks coming back.
Did I?
You did 2 weeks ago when we were talking about this. You mentioned the Young Bucks, and I'm like, oh, I don't want them to come back. And here they are. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Things happen sometimes.
You did, but the Young Bucks came in and they screwed over Swerve. It was, I don't know. I just don't understand why Tony Khan, he's had so many storylines that he has left just dangling out there due to people not liking it. This fucking one, he will not let go of. He just won't fucking do it. The fucking devil storyline still has fucking questions that haven't been answered. And, you know, nothing happens there. But so many things that he leaves dangling. And this fucking storyline, he just has to hold on to it. Like he's about to fall off a fucking cliff or something. I don't get it. I don't get it, Smark. Tell me.
I make the matches, and I'm going to tell you right now, Kenny, 9 days from tonight, you got time to get ready, man. 9 days from tonight, you have to wrestle in 9 days from tonight on Dynamite, live on Dynamite. Live on Dynamite, you have to wrestle him. If you win, if you beat him, you get a shot at the title.
Is that something to help you out a little bit?
Cocaine?
Yes. See, you can't go around saying that, you know, you fucking love Maximum Overdrive. That was a product of cocaine. So is this. You have to take the good with the bad.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like that movie, and I've never touched cocaine in my life.
Terrible movie. Anyways, a lot of cocaine.
We have discussed my enjoyment for bad movies, and I have never shied away from my enjoyment of bad movies. So let's, you know, I'm not a very good barometer of good movies, bad movies. I'm a barometer of movies I enjoy. That's about all I can be. So
there you have it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've never hid from my horrible movie enjoyment, but I just think that sometimes you gotta let this go. Obviously, this is going to take us into All In, which means we're going to have this title on him for a good while. And this all ended up on Dynamite, where, you know, Moxley actually beat Shibata in the opening match. The Bucks, of course, came out because this show is going to be all about the Bucks now. Within 2 weeks, they're going to be in fucking 12 segments on the show. And oh yeah, sure. But they offered to make peace with the Death Riders, admitting they kind of sabotaged Swerve at Dynasty for Hangman Page's sake. So I don't know, but once again, the Bucks come out, and who runs away? Moxley and Marina Shafir. They walk away. So are we to believe the Bucks are the ones pulling the strings on the Death Riders? This is where they're going to go since Shane came to his senses. I mean, decided not to. I mean, we're not sure what happened.
This is all Shane's fault, which I gotta say is probably the worst thing that a McMahon has perpetrated in the last, let's say, 10 to 15 years.
You think Shane put the rumor out there that he's willing to do this, and then literally went in, made these crazy demands to Tony just so he could fuck up this storyline?
Well, what's funny about that is apparently he wanted like creative control, or he wanted to be the one that was in charge of booking, and like Tony tell him to fuck off or whatever. But after seeing this, it's like, you know, maybe you call him back, perhaps reconsider your position, because you've been doing this fucking Death Rider storyline for fucking what feels like 47 years at this point. The Jericho stuff, like there's a lot of bad angles going on. You basically you're going to fucking break Tony Storm's back at this point. The amount of, like, you're just expecting her to carry the entire show.
Well, I do like that Samoa Joe called them the Dick Riders right on national television.
But okay, that's the thing though. Is like, okay, Samoa Joe called them the Dick Riders, and that's funny, and that is good, and I like that. But then Moxley was cutting this promo or whatever about like how he got the drop on the ops at first at the pay-per-view or whatever. And so he's wrestling Shibata, and like right as the match starting Shibata, he's like, you know what? The ops were there before the Death Riders. So I think Moxley's full of shit. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, you having the commentator just being like, this guy's an idiot. He doesn't know what he's talking about. His stable sucks. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, but you see, that was 2 times the Death Riders ran that night. I think it was O'Shea Jackson Jr., Ice Cube's son, that was talking about how he's sick of the Death Riders running from everyone. They ran from the Young Bucks. Even if they're pulling the strings, they could have made that look a little better. It looked like they ran from them. I mean, who the fuck would run from the Young Bucks? Someone 10-year-old, maybe?
I don't think that they're pulling the strings per se. I think they were presenting it as Moxley didn't even want to hear from, because Young Bucks were saying that they interfered to help Moxley win as like a peace offering because of like how they had some animosity from fucking 30 years ago that I don't remember at this point. But yeah, that's how they exited the company. They exited television, was that they like ran from the Death Riders. So they're coming back and trying to make amends for what is they don't even think they really announced why they don't like each other, but that's the story they're telling.
Yeah, and then there's 4 of them or 5 of them in the ring, and Joe comes in with 1 chair, and they all run again 2 times in one show.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, it's been that way for a couple weeks. Like, they've been getting beat, they've been running from people, they look like total bitches, but then they're also supposed to be booked to be the scariest stable. Like, it makes no sense.
I know it doesn't, but whatever. To be
Jimmy says, if anybody can spot a dick, it's Samoa Joe, because he had a giant tattoo of one on his face.
Very good point. Very good point. But at least Swerve ended up beating Pac on Dynamite, so he got some sort of whatever you want to call it.
I have a conspiracy theory, because like that match started and it lasted about 2 to 3 minutes because Pac apparently for real injured himself.
Mm-hmm.
Because he like rolled outside, talked to the referee, comes back in, Swerve hits him with the finisher, and it's like over immediately. Like, after been wrestling for like 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah, that buckle bomb.
My theory is that he's faking. My theory is he just doesn't want to do this fucking dangle anymore. He's just like, you know what, I'm gonna pretend if I can hurt myself. I get paid for like 2 or 3 months. I'll come back once this shit's finally over. Everything will be fine.
You know, you never know, Smark. It could be it could be. That could be the whole problem.
Like, there was an NFL player who I can't remember his name, but he just like right before halftime, he took his jersey off and he just like quit. Like, he just didn't come back to the team facilities or anything. He just straight up just quit. Just retired from the NFL mid game. I think that's what Pac's doing.
Do you think? Just give it up? Mm-hmm. Just fuck it?
He'll be back, I think, but yeah, he's just like, I'm not doing this fucking Death Riders bullshit anymore.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, he was there just last night. But anyway.
This is true.
Very true. Very true. Very true. But yeah, you never know. You never know. I mean, shit. We've seen people eliminate themselves from Royal Rumbles just to get the fuck out of the company, right, Gail Kim? Mm-hmm. Let's see. TNT Championship match on Dynasty. We had Adam Cole retain, beat Daniel Garcia. I'm sorry, he didn't retain. He actually beat Daniel Garcia for the title. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think anyone cared.
No.
I'm sorry to be so blunt about that, but does anyone give a fuck? I'm sorry, but Daniel Garcia did zip zero zilch to elevate that title. Well, I mean, it comes out gyrating on Collision. What the fuck? Who cares? Mm-hmm. Who cares? And Adam Cole, who fucking cares? They literally on Dynamite, they cut this little backstage promo that was classic Undisputed Era, bitching, whining, and fucking annoying.
We are finally back because Adam has a title now. So good for us because we are champions, undisputed.
What should we do, Adam? Oh, God. Shut up, Roderick.
There's a long silence because I forgot to move the cue card.
Yeah. Awful. Fucking Brandon Cutler forgot to move the cue cards, I guess.
I'm Adam Cole, baby. Pause for crowd reaction.
Yeah, I just don't. I really, there's a few things I'm giving a shit about on this show, and this was one of them where this match just seemed like it didn't need to. This was pre-show material.
Yeah, pretty
This
much.
was pre-show. This should have.
They did very little to build the feud.
They did nothing to build a feud, which is exactly why no one gave a fuck.
Well, okay, but it was really, really bad because, okay, they had them wrestle on Collision, but they had them wrestle on Collision, after one of the NCAA tournament nights. I can't remember if it was a Saturday night or the Sunday night. But so, all right, you have them at a time that is, different from your normal time slot in situations where, people probably aren't going to be watching. Where, you're going to get a bunch of people that, watch it for, 2 minutes and then turn it off. So, it was abnormal circumstances anyway, and that was about the most effort that they put into building the feud anyway. And they're like, all right, well, they had a draw on that match that nobody saw, so now we're going to put it on the pay-per-view to have the fucking rubber match. Okay, fair enough, I guess, whatever.
Yeah, why not? Who cares? Who cares? No one cared. No one still cares. Fucking undisputed there. What are they undisputed at? Explain that to me.
People used to like them.
Yes.
Well, no, but I mean, okay, no, people used to like them, but people like them because they were independent guys that came into the WWE. But then AEW is full of basically people that appeal to independent wrestling fans, so it's they don't have the same mystique to them.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know, but we had another title change. The ROH World Championship changed titles at Dynasty. Bandito picked up the win after the match was restarted, and there was bullshit going on where the Bandito's family told Aubrey Edwards that there was a bat. There's a bat. My God. So she went and found the bat, and the match was restarted within a minute. Bandito ended up winning. And so Bandito kept his mask. Again, he was going to lose his mask. And then on Dynamite, Jericho had a falling out with Big Bill and old Keith. Keith Lee. Not Keith.
No, Brian Keith.
Brian Keith. What is wrong with me? And Brian Keith.
I mean, I don't know what about them is similar. Can you fill me in on
Nothing. Nothing. I don't know why. I think it's the Keith part.
Oh, okay.
It's the Keith part. It's the only thing my brain, for some reason, is.
Keiths look alike to you. The Keiths.
Yeah. Yes. Every Keith is just Keith Lee to me. It doesn't matter what color or race or anything they are. I call every Keith I meet. I immediately think his middle or last name is Lee. So I just call everyone Keith Lee that I meet, no matter
Toby Keith Lee.
Toby Keith Lee, exactly. Toby Keith Lee.
That's actually a pretty money gimmick. That's what they should bring Keith Lee back when he's healthy, if he's ever healthy again. You just give him a cowboy hat. You just have them sing country music.
Yep. Keither Lee Sutherland.
Keith Lee Urban.
Keith Lee Urban. Keith is not a name for a lot of famous people, is it? Keith, not really.
No.
Oh,
Keith David.
Who?
Keith David.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there is him. You're right. Keith David. Correct. Keith Lee David.
Mm-hmm.
Keith David Lee.
Okay. That would actually be pretty cool. I don't know how that would make that a gimmick, but is he still alive?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, if we're thinking of the same person, yes. We're thinking of the deep voice gentleman, correct?
Yeah.
Yes. He's still doing a lot of voice acting mostly.
Could have him manage Keith Lee. That'd be pretty sweet.
I did a whole show on him actually on Hollywood Hangout. I did a spotlight episode on that on him. Very talented actor, but his voice has really made him a voice actor, especially in his older years. But I think he was just on a TV show either last year or the year before. So he's still doing his thing. He's still doing his thing out there. But this all ended up going, like I said, with this big bill. It was a TV time with the Learning Tree, and Bill was out there, and Bill kind of let him have it with the whole, I didn't sign up to be your punching bag, and if you're just out here to embarrass us and ridicule us, I'll just leave. Jericho went fucking psycho. Started saying that's not why you're out here. Next thing you know, he's yelling, "I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed," and smashing the TV with the baseball bat. I don't think this faction's going to last much longer. I think Bill and Brian Keith are just going to end up a tag team for a while. Jericho, I see taking a break.
Yeah, Jericho actually said a swear.
Do what?
He said a swear as well. He dropped an F-bomb.
He did.
He said he was fucking disappointed, and he beat a television with a bat a bunch of times. It's pretty neat.
Poor TV. Just beat the shit out of that fucking thing. Just whip the shit out of that TV. God damn it. Then, and again, I'm not going in match order. I hope y'all have figured that out by now. Then we had the AEW International Championship, which was and still is held by Kenny Omega. That match was fucking ridiculous.
Yes, it was really good.
Dude, how many matches do we get to see a fucking crane kick?
Yeah, he just dropped him, fucking kicked him square in the face. That was pretty sweet.
Oh.
And he did the double knee spot on the apron. Fucking, I forget who he did it to, but they moved and fucking, what is his name? Mike Bailey just fucking knees straight up on the fucking edge of the apron. Oof. Yikes.
Yeah. That was what started the whole leg thing. And my God, that match was fucking unbelievable between these guys. All kinds of crazy spots. And I
really liked this match, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I was watching a video from The Observer about it, because I do The Observer live. And it was like a 7-minute video, and 5 minutes of the video was just them bitching about how it was too long. And I was like, this is your fucking you guys get paid money to do this, to fucking sit in front of a TV, not having to do anything, just staring straight forward at a screen. And it's a fucking arduous process for you guys. Fuck, square on off, friends.
This match flew by. Even it might have been a 30-minute match, but it flew by because these guys were fucking working their asses off in this match. And not only did we see a crane kick, but Ricochet sold it fucking beautiful. Ricochet knew Ricochet knew the assignment on that one and definitely sold it right.
No, they were bitching because it was a 30-minute match on a 5-hour show. And it's like, you just have to sit there. You don't have to do any physical labor. You don't have to exert yourself in any way. Meltzer doesn't even have to form actual sentences anymore. The bar is so fucking low for something you get paid actual money to do. Enough you actually have a living to pay bills and shit. And it's you can't even just watch a fucking 5-hour program.
Well,
you could lie about some of that shit. You could make it up. You could totally just be I hated that they had bad chemistry or they had good chemistry if you want to praise it. You could make shit up if you wanted to. It's not that hard.
I don't know. They basically, he just doesn't, he needs something to bitch about so he's not called an AEW dick sucker.
Yeah, this is true.
Or an AEW fanboy or whatever you want to call it. So I don't know. It's just a weird thing. So Who knows though? But this all spilled over after this awesome match into Dynamite with an 8-man match. It was Mike Bailey, Will Ospreay, Mark Briscoe, and Kevin Knight, who I don't really know much about this guy, but I mean, he's already pay-per-viewing and everything. He's out there doing shit pretty fucking quick. And it was against Ricochet Crew. This is what these two guys are calling themselves, Action Andretti and Leo Rush. Crew. And Latin Mantar himself, the Beast Mortos, who took the pin by Will Ospreay. And this match was for a $400,000 payday. And the funniest part was the backstage segment with the babyface team when they're all being asked what they would do with their money, and all these guys are doing Will Ospreay's Disney World and everybody else does crazy stuff. And Mark Briscoe just goes, honestly, I think I would work on my portfolio, or work on improving my portfolio. And everyone was like, what?
Trying to diversify their portfolio. There we go.
Yes.
First time. They weren't even
word.
backstage. They were in some fucking tunnel somewhere. That was weird. Like, it was a cool little like setting, but like, where did they go to do that? That was odd. What I thought was interesting was like everybody was going around, like you said, what they were going to do if they won the match. And Mike Bailey said he was going to buy shoes. So if we accept this on a kayfabe level, he's not being paid to wrestle for AEW. He's not even being paid for the matches because he's already won a match, at least one, while he was there too, like in that tournament. In order to get to that 3-way match, he won a match to get to the final of the tournament. So he's already won at least one match. He doesn't get to go to the pay window. He needs to win this match in order to buy shoes. That poor man.
Well, luckily they won the match. And I mean, this was an incredibly babyface heavy match. They got in a lot of spots. They even got in a little comedy. But it was a very, very babyface heavy match, I thought, but a good match on Dynamite. Not bad at all.
This is actually pretty cool because Kevin Knight said he was going to go to Magic City. So like Kenny Omega wants to go to Disneyland. Kevin Knight wants to go to the strip club. Mike Bailey just wants some shoes. Poor man needs to aspire for more, I think.
Yeah. I mean, he could get a decent pair of shoes and then go to the strip club with Keith, or Kevin.
They should actually do that. There should be a segment like next week of like each guy doing the thing they said they were going to do, or like perhaps have them doing it together. So you just like everybody's like going to Disneyland, everybody's going to the strip club. Like Mark Briscoe's going to see like an accountant or something. Like he's on the fucking time going to the stock market.
Those Southern accountants.
Mm-hmm. Now tell me that fucking Mark Briscoe, like a series of vignettes of like Mark Briscoe on Wall Street wouldn't be fucking amazing.
Oh my God, it actually would be. Oh, dude, if they gave him like a Cameron Grimes gimmick.
That is exactly where my mind went to as soon as he said he was going to diversify his portfolio. I was like, redneck.
That
I miss Cameron Grimes. Damn it, man. And he's free. He can come and do shit if they really want to take this to the next level.
That could be fucking gold right there. You're right. That could be good shit.
Mm-hmm.
That really could be some good stuff right there to see. That could be fun. Then we had the women's division match. We had one of them at least. With the AEW Women's World Championship match, Toni Storm against Megan Bayne. Toni Storm did retain her title. Megan Bayne, great once again, looked great out there. Penelope Ford was interfering most of the match until Luger decided to carry her out backstage. And then on Dynamite, we had an interview with Penelope Ford, Megan Bayne, and Renee. And folks, if you need any excuse to watch AEW, Smark does a new feature here on StreamYard. You can put pictures up. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look.
Mm-hmm.
I've never wanted to be a dangling pendant so bad.
Come Tuesday.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Oh, Joey Janela, how did you do this? Oh, my man. Anyway. How?
I choose to believe that the man is just like super packing.
He has to be.
That he's like the too cold Scorpio of his era. Because like he probably doesn't smell very nice. He's not terribly tall. He doesn't have a lot of like future career prospects, but he's going to be a GCW forever. But God bless him, he is making the most of his opportunity.
Hey, listen, you don't, you only live once. Might as well get it while you can. And my God, I mean, I got to tell you, Megan Bain is like model beautiful, just unbelievable. Like I said, just, you know, a very exotic look, dark skin, tanned, gorgeous, perfect.
There you have it.
Go Joey Janela. But yeah, new little feature here on StreamYard. Picture Smark. You like it?
Yeah, it's great.
Pretty good, huh? Pretty good. So there you go. I don't know what's in that box labeled snake, and it worries me because it's box number 75507. I know to stay away from that box. It says snake. I don't know what's in it. Maybe it's that hat she has on. That I don't know.
Just don't notice that. That's wild. Yeah. Actually, where they keep Jake.
Yeah, I see that case. I don't know what's in it. I don't know what S2W is either. But that makes more sense than snake. Maybe that's like the maybe they call the wires the snake wires or something that they use for the cameras or so. I don't know. Hopefully, I mean, I guess it's just not a snake. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, we can remove that picture now. I mean, we can look at it later, maybe. I don't know if you guys want to. I'll just leave it there in case we want to look at it before we end Dynamite or whatever. But anyway, that was a great part of Dynamite right there. I enjoyed that very much. I'm sure everyone else
Actually, bring this back up for a second. Why does nobody have their eyes open?
I don't know. Their eyes open?
Mm-hmm. Yes, well, they have eyes. Like,
well, I mean, I kind of took the picture off of VLC, so.
And they're also lined up by height. That's kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah, but this was a picture I took off of VLC, so blame me for the bad timing of the picture of all their eyes closed. I mean, well, fucking needs to see their eyes. Come on, Smark.
Yeah, people want to help people.
Didn't even notice they had eyes.
Sure. Just... Max, you want to read that, or you leave that to me?
Just fucking do it. All right.
All right, fine. I'll read it. She says, I'm sure when she's on TV, there's an avalanche of semen flying at TVs.
It's an avalanche! Snow filled the air, buries everything. Time to be scared. You better be aware. It's a nightmare. You better run away if you just can't stay. If you wanna save the day. It's an avalanche! It's shining white. It's not like an angel. More like a devil, not small like a pebble. More like a mountain that's swung to hold it very cold. It's an avalanche.
And there's jizz everywhere.
You could have just played that.
It's a combo. It's a 2-for-1.
Fucking kid looks like he's fucking Michael J. Fox. Avalanche. Shut the fuck up. Anyway, oh, that one's gonna get me in trouble. But
I don't know. I think Michael J. Fox really shook things up in Hollywood. You know what I'm saying?
oh wow. Ooh.
He's still alive. Don't fucking give me garbage. It didn't kill him. It just made him more interesting as a person.
Not yet. Now that you mentioned it, you probably did.
We'll see. Let's see. True North wants to know: do you have any kids? Since they're having, we got there because they're staring. All right, yeah, there we go.
Oh my God.
I don't think Seaman Avalanche is an acceptable title for a show, but we'll see what we could do.
Let's just try cum. Let's just try that.
I mean, I'll pass, but whatever.
No, I'm not. No, not like that. No, wait, hold on. No, I mean, as a word in the show. Wait, hold on.
She said, I heard Michael J. Fox got arrested for shaking a bit.
Oh,
I will say that was one of the greatest moments of like being a teenager. Very late into being a teenager, at least. I was like 19, might have been 20. I was at a friend's house, and we were smoking. We had smoked weed, and like we were sitting there, and he turned on a celebrity pro-am golf tournament. And I was like, well, there's no way anything about this could be fun or enjoying. I was just getting ready to be bored as shit for the next 2 hours. But the very first thing that we hear when he turns on the celebrity pro-am golf tournament, next up to putt, Michael J. Fox. And he said, no. And I laughed for a solid 20 minutes. It was one of the greatest moments of my life.
I mean, listen, if you're a bodybuilder, you could always just hand them your protein drink and walk away for a few minutes. I'm just saying, it's a living. Anyway,
he's now become part of the fucking Flintstones extended universe. It's a living.
He's the James Bond favorite bartender. Shaken, not stirred.
There you have it.
Yes. A martini, please. Shaken, not stirred. Thank you. Thank you very much. So back to the tag team chaos. The Hurt Syndicate, of course, retained their tag team titles. And the match was fine, but no one gave a fuck until after the match when FTR was down, and you could tell by the way Cope was picking him up, this was not going to go well for Cope. And I like the way they did this. Instead of breaking this team up, which makes no fucking sense, they both turned on Cope. Concertos, they fucked this poor guy up. I'm telling you, this is leading to FTR versus Cope and Christian. I'm telling you.
Probably.
Because there's already a little tension going on in the patriarchy. Somehow these two are going to come back together, since FTR is obviously going to be the heels. Somehow these two are going to come back together. It's going to have to be a pretty quick thing if they want to do it at All In. But I don't know. I just don't see how you take everything that the patriarchy has done to Cope and it's just all forgiven. It's probably going to end up being one of those, listen, we've been fighting for a long time, but we're best friends so we can get along for a match or two. I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, if they're trying to do it for All In's in July, so they've got plenty of time.
Not really. I mean,
it's April. I mean, it only takes a month to build a fucking feud, really.
Yeah, but that one should take longer. Well, I guess you're right. 3 months would be enough to build it if they want to do it then.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you're right. You're right. But I definitely think that's where it's going. But this all came around to Dynamite, though, with the Hurt Syndicate celebrating, because I guess they're going to celebrate every win now. Like, that's what they do. They're celebrating their win. They're
I enjoyed defense. This because you weren't supposed to hear it, but like they had this like little platform set up. Well, they had this whole little platform set up. They had like a magazine. They had like all these bottles of champagne.
Smark locked up for a minute there. Okay, he's back. But basically what happened is MJF came out And MJF still wants to join. Oh, hold on. You completely cut off there for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're back.
Okay. No, so anyways, they had this whole little thing set up, this whole little stage platform. They have this like magazine. They have this table set up in the middle of the ring and all this shit. And they have these bottles of champagne. And MVP has just a glass of champagne. But like he's passing out the party favors, and you just hear Shelton like kind of mumble something to him, and he goes, "No, you have the whole bottle." And he's like, it just made me laugh that like Shelton just wanted a glass. He's like, "No, you can drink the whole fucking thing.
Just take the goddamn bottle, goddamn it."
Come on, it's a Wednesday. I'm not trying to get fucking drunk. He's like, "No, you will get drunk."
But this is TV. My mama's watching.
Dear
Mama
God, please
Benjamin.
bring her back. I don't
Mama
think she's
Benjamin.
alive anymore, but bring her back somehow.
She's still watching.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
God damn it. Don't fuck it up, Smark. So MJF comes out. And of course, he still wants to join the Hurt Business, which just doesn't make any sense. Mark has to know. I got to know. But Lashley basically kind of dismissed his offers, saying we don't need you. And then MVP is like, or as MJF calls him, Montel. But as Montel said, listen, if you want in, you need 3 thumbs up. Montel gives 1. Shelton Benjamin throws it down. So immediately, no MJF, which led to a later segment with MJF and Montel once again in the locker room, and MJF is screaming at MVP. My God, I'm tired of your guys treating me like a bitch, and do they not know who the hell I am? And MVP just goes, well, yeah, that's the problem. They know exactly who you are.
They fucking hate you.
Yes, they know exactly who you are. So, and basically, your reputation precedes you. You turn on people. That you don't hurt people, you turn on people. So that's pretty much that right there. But we had a couple Owen Hart tournament matches. At Dynasty, we saw Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay and Mercedes Moné advance. And on Dynamite, Chris Statlander beat Thunder Rosa, which was a good match. Tony Storm was on commentary for that match. And one of the other great things about Tony Storm's Smark.
Yes.
Did you happen to see the little clip of her at the media scrum?
Yes. You didn't even have to finish. I knew as soon as I saw it.
Well,
there once was a man from Nantucket whose cock was so big he could suck it. He said with a grin, wiping jizz from his chin, if my ear were a pussy, I'd fuck it.
Oh.
And now, any questions?
she is gold. Money, gold. I learned that one a little different than what she said. But anyway, yeah, I learned that I don't know what you want to call that. I learned that little poem a little different than that. Trying to remember it now. Once was a man from Nantucket. Once was a man from Nantucket, had a dick so long he could suck it. He said with a grin while wiping his chin, if my ear were a cunt, I would fuck it. That's the one I remember.
Well, I mean, there's no need to be crass. She's not going to say cunt. She's not trying to break blue out there.
Yeah, she's not British. They use that word. They use that word like it's hello here.
Yes.
I'm not worried about the Owen Hart tournament just yet. Not just yet.
She says that these Owen Hart tournament matches are falling in quality. Falling in quality. Falling.
Yes, with 10,000 fists.
No.
Yeah, that was
Fall.
He's on fire!
Oh God. shit.
There we go. All right, we're on the same page now.
Well, we're on to this. Mark, go for it.
She says, I was going to make an on-hard drop for the show, but Vince beat me to it. Ba-dum-bum. I need a rim shot. I'll eventually get a rim shot. Give me some time.
Listen, I am not going to do anything to any rim of anything, so don't even talk to me about it, okay? You know what? Fuck it. One more time.
There once was a man from Nantucket whose cock was so big he could suck it. He said with a grin, wiping jizz from his chin, if my ear were a pussy, I'd fuck it. And now, any questions?
And now, any question? Tony Khan's reaction is great. I'm going to spit his drink out. Tony Storm is fucking gold, man. That girl is worth her fucking worth every penny he is paying her because she is awesome.
The funny part is like the extended context of that is apparently she got invited to do like the fucking TCM film festival. So she was talking about how she's like now like a national crossover star, how she could like do all these like opportunities for stuff like this and like to do things for children and stuff like that. And she just immediately cuts to doing the fucking poem like that. It's like, all right, any questions? It's like,
I think she is great, man. That's great shit.
I know,
right
it's
there.
fantastic. Well, I was thinking about that though, because like I keep thinking to myself, just like, why didn't they do more with her in WWE? And then like stuff like this is like, okay, I kind of understand why we didn't do more with her in WWE if this was the idea, but it's great here.
It is. It's fucking awesome, and you know, like I said, Tony's reaction is actually like a great part of the video. So. But
she was on commentary for Dynamite.
Yes.
She said during that match with Megan Bain, she got like dropped and she ended up losing 3 inches, and she met Tony Schiavone later and got those 3 inches back. And it was pretty great because everybody on commentary was just trying their best not too loud.
Yeah, she's awesome, man. But let's wrap this Dynasty Dynamite review up here with the end of Dynamite. It was again, it was Samoa Joe and Hook the Ops defeating Claudio and Wheeler. Everybody ended up getting choked out in this fucking match. Everybody, the Ops were choking out everybody. But man, they folded Hook up on that chair pretty bad. Claudio ended up folding up Hook on a chair. Joe came in, and again, we talked about them running away. But again, the best line of the night was Dick Riders.
That's right.
By Joe, and they are coming for the trios titles. And that is pretty much kind of both shows rolled into one. About the best I can do there.
Yeah.
That's so
pretty good summation of like the last week or so in AEW.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty good Dynamite. I thought it was a pretty good pay-per-view. Like these people that bitch about it being fucking 5 or 6 hours long, and it's their fucking job that they get paid literal actual money to view is like fucking wild to me. It's like this is you guys are making the kind of money that like you could actually have a living in, like watching wrestling for 5 hours is too much. Like go fuck yourselves. Anyway, speaking of fucking things, Luke says he has a terrible headache, so he can't think of any easy joke to give us a layup. Luke, you already missed the song, so you're gonna have to settle for this.
Look at this photograph. It's a picture of a child's ass.
And speaking of children,
It's an avalanche. Snow filled the air, buries everything. Time to be scared. You better be aware. It's a nightmare. You better run away if you just can't stay. If you want.
that was a medley. That was a medley just for you.
you know, at least the bass line of the Avalanche song is decent in the beginning. At least we got that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so whatever. But before we get anything smart, did you see the spear to Carlito by Braun Breaker?
Yes.
That was, I got it. I really wanted, because I've never seen anyone spear anyone this devastatingly. Here we go. Ouch. Ouch. That had to hurt. I mean, he ran from the top of the ramp. Carlito's getting out of the ring, and he just put his head directly in. I mean, that was like a fucking football hit.
Indeed. Yeah, you get a nice running start. Carlito sold it like it was death. It was good shit.
That was right in the numbers. That would have been fucking snot bubbles.
Indeed.
Snot bubbles, like the program. Ever seen the program? Yeah. That was good stuff. But Tony Khan did also, though, get a little bit of negative reaction, as we were saying, to the end of Dynasty. And basically, he was asked if he takes any of the feedback into consideration. And he said, absolutely, I take into consideration. And I take that into consideration, he said. And I think you want the fans. We had a lot of great moments for the fans tonight. And Swerve was, no offense, Renee, the more popular man in the house tonight. The fans really were behind Swerve in the arena. So basically, he's saying he does listen to the audience, but obviously he's saying he doesn't care either.
So yes, I listen to the fan feedback. I'm not stopping the Death Rider thing. Fuck all of you. I have a mountain of money, a mountain of cocaine.
Yeah, I mean, he gets into the whole, John Moxley, he's done so much good for the company. You could argue, what he's done recently, not just in the history. But I mean, that's all good and well, but this storyline is dead. It's done. I'm not even a hater of the storyline, but I can see everybody's pain with the storyline. And I get it. I do. I totally get it. So just, my God, it's time. It's time. Let it go, Tony. Let it go. He's holding on to this like it was Ray Phoenix. Damn it.
No, I think he finally let him escape. I think he was on SmackDown Friday.
He was. He finally let him escape, but fucking sat there and gripped onto the poor fucking guy.
And unfortunately, it is not at all time, because if the ending of the pay-per-view didn't make that abundantly clear, they're staying with that Death Rider's angle until at least July when Darby gets back.
All right, whatever they have to do, I guess. I'm not that happy about it, but whatever.
So that you realize, so you better hope that Darby makes it up that fucking mountain, or at the very least quits before something bad happens.
I mean, he better make it up that fucking mountain.
Because if Darby doesn't make it, then that storyline lives on forever. I'm mildly tempted to just fucking push that motherfucker up the mountain myself.
See Smark out there on a fucking snowmobile. Let's do this, bitch.
I will throw that motherfucker up the mountain. He can't. He doesn't weigh that much. It's about 40 pounds. You could just chuck the fucker up the mountain.
He gets up there. He's got to get down. No, bitch. Put that fucking parachute on. You're out of here. Oh.
Sure enough says the last time I saw a video of someone getting speared that hard, it was on Pornhub.
There you go.
Yeah.
Pornhub, baby. All right. Unfortunately, I do need to bring up one more death, and I'm bringing this up because this is someone that we have talked about on this show, that we actually, me and Shaheen spoke to on Hot Tag back in the day. And Nick Gage, I'm going to take that comment down real quick. Nick Gage, his wife and longtime partner of 25 years. They've been together since she was 18 years old. Passed away. No one really knew. It just kind of came out basically today, but she passed away 9 days ago on the 1st. And GCW actually put out a little thing about her. Brett Lauderdale offered her his, obviously his condolences. Exactly what he said was, "Those that knew her will never forget her. She had an unbreakable spirit, an infectious laugh, and an attitude that never quit. She never lost an argument, but it sure was fun to argue with her. I'm lucky to have shared so many laughs with her and Nick over the years." Another guy we were speaking of, Joey Janela, Tony Deppen, and Cheeseburger all kind of chimed in with condolences too for Nick Gage. These guys have all worked with GCW before, and GCW actually put out a post with her picture, and that is how we all knew it was on the 1st, was because of the post. There was a picture of the basically the thing from the funeral service. But here's what GCW said, not Brett Lauderdale himself, but GCW's page. GCW mourns the loss of Sondra Culbertson, the longtime partner and wife of Nick Gage. Sondra was a passionate and fierce member of the MDK gang and was a loud and proud face in the crowd from day one of GCW CZW. She was a part of the GCW family, and she will be remembered and missed. So GCW decided to talk about her gang affiliate. I know it's not a real gang. But yeah, like I said, I wanted to mention that Nick Gage is someone that we've mentioned on this show many times. And like I said, we, back in the day, this where this show kind of spawns from, and we did interview Nick Gage. I don't know if you can even find those. I have the hard drive they're on, but that drive isn't working. I need to take that drive in and see if someone can get it powered up for me. So, because I got a lot of stuff on there that I need to take off of there. So I'll see if I can get that done. But yeah, just thought we'd mention that real quick, and then we can there we go. So now let's jump back into AEW a little bit here, make it a little easier. So we've talked about Tony Storm being in the Queen of the Ring movie, and Camille and a few others. MJF being in the Iron Claw and soon in Happy Gilmore too. Mm-hmm. But now Steven Spielberg is making a film, Smark.
Oh, I think he already has.
He has, but there's not a lot really known about the film. The only thing that we've found out is PW Insider reports that Lance Archer and Brian Cage of the Don Callis family were spotted at the Long Island, New York Parliament Theater, where they were filming some scenes for this movie. Chavo Guerrero is supposedly one of the guys that, not in the movie, but he was overseeing the pro wrestling side of the stunts. I believe Chavo has done some stunt work in his career, actually, so that makes sense. It's supposedly an important part of the film. We do know somehow the film revolves around UFOs.
Interesting.
Not sure where you're going to get wrestlers in here, but maybe aliens love wrestling. Wouldn't shock me at all. Emily Blunt, Josh O'Connor, Colin Firth, Eve Hewson, Coleman Domingo, Wyatt Russell, and Noah Robbins are all set to star in this movie. And again, there's not a lot really known about it, but Archer and Brian Cage. Now, Brian Cage has done a few things. Obviously, we've played a few. He played He-Man in that little whatever that was. But So there you go. A couple more AEW stars getting some Hollywood roles, Mark. I mean, Spielberg's films usually aren't, little indie films that don't make money. So, wow.
So, Brian Cage is going to be in E.T. Part 2, you're saying?
What?
He's going to be in E.T. Part 2, that's what you're saying. Steven Spielberg.
I don't know.
E.T. Part 2.
Oh, Brian Cage phone home.
Mhm.
I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me, but you never know.
Oh, that'd actually be pretty cool. E.T. comes back and he's in fucking wrestling now. He's on steroids, stabbing people with light tubes. It's a pretty sweet movie.
He's really Lance Archer.
That's it. You figured it out. E.T. is not in charge.
Oh, did I? I figured it out. Me. Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, good. But like I said, Spielberg's movies usually aren't flops. It's going to play Max Moon. I don't know. You never know. I listen. Spielberg can do crazy stuff, but he is definitely known for some big movies out there. So we'll have to just wait, and we'll as we get any more information on this, I'll try to update you guys. How's that sound? Good. Glad you hear it. So here's another situation that I guess people are wondering about. Coming up very soon is a little something called the WWE Hall of Fame ceremony. And everyone's wondering, with Lex Luger going in, who's going to be the one inducting him? Everyone says it should be Sting. Now, according to Meltzer, and this is again according to Dave Meltzer, who was talking about this on, of course, Wrestling Observer Radio. Dave Meltzer indicated that the reported overtures WWE intended to make towards AEW have never taken place. Now, he said it may have changed, but I do know that 8 or 9 days ago, no one from WWE had tried to contact AEW about the availability of Sting, Meltzer said. So, they may have just have said, we're not going to do it, and it's on them, rather than call up and try to negotiate it. I don't know. So I'm going to take the last 3 words of that, I don't know, and think that's probably what he meant to say the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't know what's going on because WWE doesn't give me shit anymore since TKO bought them. That's what he really, I believe, means to say. So I make shit up, and you guys eventually call me out on it, and then I have to backtrack, which has pretty much been his MO since TKO bought that company. Think about it. That's pretty much been what Dave Meltzer. He's been wrong on a lot of WWE stuff because he's not getting anything from WWE anymore.
Yeah, he's going to talk to Michael Hayes now.
Oh, Michael Hayes was, maybe that's why they let him go for a while. We're like, dude, no, you're suspended for leaking even wrong news to Meltzer. Don't do it.
I wish I could find the screen cap of this because they provide a little bit more detail. But I'm glad that you brought up Meltzer because I wanted to talk to you about something about this.
Who are you now?
Well, we like to joke around about like Michael Hayes calling him drunk in the middle of the night, just feeding him this information. But I would like to ask you a question. Are you familiar with the wrestler known as Pig Greaser Stanklin?
Say that one more time.
I'll absolutely say that one more time. Pig, P-I-G, Greaser Stanklin.
No.
Okay. So this is about 2 or 3 weeks ago at this point, but there was an episode of, I listened to this podcast, Deadlock, and they were reading this article of like the shit, like observers from like the late 90s, I want to say. And Dave Meltzer put out an obituary for a wrestler known as Pig Greaser Stanklin. Now the problem with this is that this man did not exist. He was somebody from a message board sent him an email making up an old territory wrestler named Pig Greaser Stanklin who had passed away. And it was so convincing that Dave Meltzer put out his obituary and then had to, in a later edition of The Observer, put out a retraction that he was not dead, nor was he real.
Oh, my God. Good thing I said no. You were setting me up for a lie right there. Damn it, Smark.
That's right. Well, yes, but this is fucking amazing that there's he did no research on that because it was late 90s. You could have easily looked it up. He was like, he reported about this wrestler who did not exist past him.
I mean, now you can just use fucking Chat GPT and a couple others out there. Actually, there is another one I found for another, I guess, AI search engine for looking up companies. It's called Perplexity. It is awesome for looking up companies, and for what I do, it's great because I can just type in the company name and it brings up what they do, number of employees. It brings up sources. It's a pretty fucking good tool. It's cut my my kind of research in half. Because, you know, I can just keep adding on. All right, well, what do they do for this? What's this? What's that? You know, what's their annual income? What's their annual revenue? What's this? What's that? So it's a pretty cool little fucking AI thing. I haven't found much more use for it except for searching companies, but it's definitely cut my my company research in half. I'm doing way less with that little tool that I got. So, oh, stop it, Smark. Grow up, will you?
Yeah, I'm doing way less with that little tool that I've got.
I am. Perplexity has cut my research time in half, sir. That's a tool. You fucking child. Grow up. Look, Smark, just take it easy, okay? Look, listen, grow up and just grow up and look at those for a minute, okay? Okay.
You know, I don't know what it is about me that would make you think that I am like a child of mature.
Stick your ass in! Fucking waxes! My ass is gay! My ass is...
Just straight maturity and professionalism. It's great.
I need to get a copy of the song Shit Dick up here for you. I have it somewhere.
Hey.
You know what? It might actually be on this computer, but not a video. I actually think it might be on my... Hold on. No, but I do have another funny one. I don't know if I would... Fuck it, I can play it real quick.
By the by, Shelton Benjamin's mama is still very much alive. Via Vidal. So
all right.
She's
way to go, mama.
Mm-hmm.
Way to go, Mama Benjamin. Oh, no, that's not going to work. I don't think it's a... I think it's a... I don't know what it is. But if I play it, you're probably going to not hear it. Maybe you will. Let's find out.
I heard it.
No.
Nah, not really. Very, 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 very faintly.
I guess I could. See, it's not a video file. It says it is.
Enough to know that it was a parody of that Jefferson Airplane song, but not enough to actually be able to hear any of the lyrics.
Okay. All right. The song is called My Dick's All Shitty.
Hey.
If that gives you an idea. But it won't pull up. Let me see if it'll pull up if I hit all files. It still won't pull up. I'll be god darned. Oh, wait, there it is. Let's see if it'll pull up now. No, it won't play. I'll have to convert it, which I will. For the next show, I'll convert it. We'll play it. It'll be fun. Actually, I could put it in the media assets, but it's an old Opie. It's an old Opie and Anthony thing is what it is. But anyway, let's move on. So Meltzer really doesn't know if they've reached out to Sting, if they haven't reached out to Sting. But he decided he would comment on it anyway because he has nothing better to do.
I'm here to confirm that I don't know. Like,
How's
all right,
that?
thanks, Dave.
Yeah, he's confirmed he has no clue whether or not it's happened. I mean, it's basically just a question. But anyway, speaking of the Hall of Fame, we'll go ahead and stick with that. WWE has announced 3 legacy Hall of Fame inductees going into the legacy wing, and people are a little iffy on whether or not they're happy about some of these. They're not sure if they are or not, it seems like, but we've got them right here. It is, give me one sec. There we go. Triple H and WWE put out this post. WWE said legendary superstars Kamala, Dory Funk Sr., and Ivan Koloff will enter the WWE Hall of Fame as 2025 legacy inductees. Triple H says each one of these performers left an indelible mark on the history of WWE. It is an absolute privilege to honor each of them and their bodies of work. Some people are okay with the Dory Funk Sr. and even the Ivan Koloff, but a lot of people feel that Kamala should have got a little more than just this. But he wasn't exactly. I mean, the guy made a song about,
Damn.
Yeah, the guy made a song about people getting fucked in WWE. I'm okay. They're at least honoring him. I think we should be happy about that.
You made a song about Pat Patterson forcing people to have sex with him in order to get pushes in the company, and then ended it by mentioning Chris Benoit, which was pretty fucking awesome. But I understand why that didn't ingratiate him so well with them. However, if I sent you a link here in the private chat, somebody had dug up an interesting video about Kamala following them in being inducted into the Hall of Fame, and I'm sure it is a tremendous honor for Kamala to share, where he's still alive, a 20-second video package in the midst of being inducted alongside Michelle McCool. So that's pretty dope for him.
All right, hold on one sec. Let me share this video. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's share this. All right. Is it up there? Ready?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
They had used me up. They had let everybody beat me. And they just didn't have no more use for me. So during that time, my sister had just got killed. And her husband killed her and killed her dog. Oof. And during that time, I just made it to California. And when I got back that night, they told me about it. And so I called Linda. I called Vince, but Linda answered the phone and she told me, said, "You're welcome to go," said Vince. I know Vince would say the same thing. So you can go home and be with your family. And when I got back, they gave me the boot. I had lost my sister, my niece, and my job.
Wow.
Yeah, they gave me that.
How'd you handle that? What did you go through mentally?
I didn't have no money.
Okay. I know that's probably the right. I'm sorry to stop it, but I know that's probably the right follow-up question. But how did you handle that? Like mentally? Are you fucking serious? Oh, I went and I pat my belly and just like you'd expect me to. But what the fuck? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna play it again. I don't know why that angered me, but it did.
And the only thing I could rely on was just a little bit of money that Vince had taken it out, 15%.
The escrow money.
Yeah, the escrow money. And I mean, $17,000, that wasn't a lot of money. So what I done was bought me an old truck and started driving a dump truck, and they were so old and raggedy, they broke down. They were, couldn't make no money with it. But I didn't know nothing else to do.
Damn.
So there you go. They fired him because he took time off because his sister got murdered. But they prepared a 20-second video package for him come Hall of Fame weekend. So that'll smooth things over.
Yeah, that'll do. Dory Funk Sr. Definitely. I understand. Pretty old, but and Ivan Koloff, man, that's a pretty cool one right there. That's one of the guys from when I was a kid, as is Kamala. So good to see these guys going in, no matter how they're going in. It's not a bad thing at all. But
there was one time in the video, it's on YouTube, of when Bryan Danielson was the Ring of Honor champion. He defended his belt against fucking Kamala, and it's wild. Like it was actually a pretty solid match. It was only like 10 minutes long, but like not bad. But it's just like he's the last person you expected to see wrestle Bryan Danielson.
Yeah, pretty much. But I'm sure that was a pretty good honor for Danielson. So speaking, we're sitting here, Smark, and you play that video, and we're sitting here telling you what good people the McMahons are, which leads us right into the last story we're going to talk about here on the show, unless anybody else has anything. But this leads us right into the last story of the show, which is Vince and Linda and TKO have filed to have the Ring Boy lawsuits against them in the Maryland District Court dismissed. They want the case dismissed. Lawsuit was filed, obviously, a while ago. We talked about this. 5 anonymous plaintiffs in Maryland alleging that the McMahons had neglected and failed to protect them from sexual abuse at the hands of WWE ring announcer Mel Phillips while working as ring boys throughout the 1980s. And obviously, now at the center of the plaintiff's case is Maryland's Child Victims Act of 2023. We've talked about this before too. The case was delayed previously while the Supreme Court decided whether the Child Victims Act would be able to be upheld, and it was. So the case resumed. However, Linda's attorneys have argued that the complaint lacks any basis for personal jurisdiction over the defendants in the state. It's further contended that McMahon had no sufficient connection to Maryland for the lawsuit to continue in the state's district court, and a personal declaration from herself is included as an exhibit in the filing. So basically, this is what they're all saying. Has nothing to do with it. We have nothing to do with Maryland. What is going on here? Now, I don't find this at all crazy with Linda now being the Secretary of Education. She was sworn in. It's done. She's it. So she probably wants this offer back. Vince just doesn't need another lawsuit, folks. Let's be honest with you. I'm sure he's like, enough already. Let me die in peace. I just don't think Vince needs another lawsuit. But I find what's not in there, not in that article, a little telling. The fact that there's no denial of the facts. It's all just legal mumbo jumbo to get out of it, but no denial that they knew it was going on. No, none of that, but just trying to do it on technicalities. I noticed that.
Which will probably work, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is.
It probably will, because the case going back that far is going to be a lot of he said, she said. People have gotten older. People have passed away, obviously. I got a feeling it's going to work too. What?
It's a really bad thing to laugh about. But you said he said, she said. And it's like, well, he said stop raping me, and he also said no, and then it's kept
Well, I
going.
mean, the she said is the Linda part of it. You're right. Okay, I should have said, he said, right?
Mhm.
Is that what you're telling me?
Actually, the first thing you said, the first thing I thought of when you said he said, she said, was the fucking break stuff. But
oh, okay. I think someone came in there real quick for Smark. But anyway, yeah, it's I just find the fact that there's no denial in there at all a little telling to me. But I think you're right. I think it's probably going to work because it's an old case. I mean, what's going to come of it? I don't think anything will. It's probably going to work. We're probably not going to hear anything on this. It's probably just going to disappear. Poof, gone. Poof. So I got nothing else. I scrounged for the news I had. Put it that way. You got anything else? Huh? Anything?
no.
Ah. Oh, we can now share our referral link. Look at that. All kinds of stuff going on here in StreamYard, folks. All kinds of stuff. But yeah, man. I got nothing else. So if you want to wrap up, we can do that.
Let's do it.
All right. Go for it. Nice short and sweet one here. So go for it, man. Tits. Tit me. Talk to me about some titties.
You got it. Totally inappropriate team sports or tits, if you will. Tuesdays, 8:30 p.m. This week, we are going to be doing the mock draft of
Tits.
That's right. The NFL draft is, I believe, 2 weeks away, but we're good. The NHL playoffs and NBA playoffs are starting soon, so we're going to be talking about that when they happen. So we're going to be doing the NFL mock draft this week. So if you want to hear who we're picking, go ahead and check us out Tuesdays, 8:30 p.m.
All right. Plenty of stuff going on to talk about over there, which is good. I will be doing Hollywood Hangout again this week. I've not decided what. I did a pretty detailed Val Kilmer episode last week with him passing, and definitely wanted to do that little tribute episode, so you can check that out. Even did it on YouTube. I'm going to be doing a lot more of that, as I had said I will be. So go over to YouTube, look for Hollywood Hangout. Me and Smark will be right back here, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube, Wrestling Outlet. Like, subscribe, leave comments. Have a great time. Tell a friend. Have them tell a friend, and a friend to tell a friend, and a... All right, I think I got lost there. But anyway, folks, enjoy the weekend coming up. Tomorrow's Friday, so take it easy. And that's about it. So, Smark, anything else?
That's it.
All right. I will see you next week, folks. See you all next week. Have a good one. See ya.